It doesn't take long to drive through the town of La Russell, about 45 seconds really. 30 seconds in, you come across the pump in the middle of the road.
It's very surprising how many people we see through the summertime that stop and they jump out of their vehicle and one gets on the pump or two on the pump or near the pump and somebody else is taking a picture, and then they trade places and more pictures.
And that includes prom pictures, senior pictures, silly pictures, even don't mess with me and my pump pictures. The pump doesn't work anymore, but it did for the better part of the last century. It supplied water to not only residents and local farmers, but folks traveling through the area.
I know one year in the 50s we had dry years and people came in back their trailers up there with barrels on it and pumped water into them for their livestock at home.
That's Ben Hart. He's lived in La Russell since 1947. The World War II vet is also a former mayor, fire chief, and president of the school board. Another World War II veteran, Nunny Graff, who passed away this summer, said the pump was his Statue of Liberty when he returned home from the South Pacific. But it hasn't always been smooth sailing for the pump. Being in the middle of the road, it's been hit a time or two. After a crash in 2009, MoDOT said, that's it, we're moving it. And they did, to the side of the road. And that's when residents and folks from across the country, thanks to social media, yep, the pump has its own Facebook page, took action. They called MoDOT a lot, tied up the phone lines for hours.
I put in my call down there, and that poor lady down there said, please tell people not to call. She said, we're putting it right back.
And they did 2 days later. It is a part of this community in so many more ways than one.
Yeah. It's the center of our universe right here. I mean, you know, people, when the pump was moved, they can't find their way home. You know, where do you turn? The pump's not here. You know, so it's kind of been our moral, well, not really a moral compass, but our compass, and maybe our moral compass too.
And Linda, this is also something that you guys celebrate once a year on Thanksgiving.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Right. Well, it's kind of Thanksgiving, 4th of July, and Christmas all rolled into one. And, you know, for years we joked about putting Christmas lights on it. We decided to finally do it. And so, you know, we passed out sparklers to the grown-ups. Santa comes. We've had a parade for the last 3 years and shoot off fireworks once the lights come on, you know, so. It's a big deal. It's a lot of fun for everybody. It's just a lot of grown-ups acting silly.
And they've had a solid turnout the past couple of years, about 150 people last year. The town's population, a little over 100.
You know, I always say there's two kinds of people in the world, people that are from La Russell and people that wish they were from La Russell. So this is their chance to come back and they can be part of us Thanksgiving night.
And don't forget to grab a t-shirt while you're there. You'll find them just south of the pump inside Whitehead Farm Supply. Just make sure you stop and pay homage to the pump.
It's probably one of a kind. I doubt there's another place in the United States that's got a pump in the middle of the street.
It's always been kind of a status symbol for us, about claim to fame, I guess.
It's part of the town. It always has been.
It's been there a long time, and we hope it will be there for a much longer time.